Hey, oh man, I'm tired. That's gonna be the intro of like, it's gonna be the intro of every fucking video I do, like every vlog. And one day I'm gonna write like a whole ass book, and that's gonna be the title. Just I'm so fucking tired. ah, I don't know exactly what I want to update on. There's a lot. There's a lot, but I kind of want to do like I would I aim for my videos to be as concise around one topic as I can, or like one aspect, because if I tried to update on like everything I'm doing all at once, it would be like a 3 hour video and I'd be exhausted, and it's like, oh, it's hard. And that's only just thinking about me, not even just everyone else in here. So I think I think like how things are going in this fusion is probably the most beneficial thing for me to speak about, for me, and for potentially for people going through the same thing. Or if I had if I had wanted to know something before I learned it through experience, I imagine this, like, how this fusion is changing and progressing is up there in topics. So it's largely feeling like, man, it's like being a slinky. And I feel like every age and like layer of me used to be like an entirely separate layer, sort of like chained out, or like, yeah, there was like this total separation between each part of me, each layer. And I'm finding now that it feels much more like being a slinky, and the like, I need a slinky for the visual, but I can feel various parts of me and layers of me like holding in a sort of condensed solid person's shape, but there's like a bit of flux going around, and like layers of me will move sort of in and out, um, depending on what topic has come up that is difficult for one part or another to integrate or accept, or depending on the experience we're having, and whether or not it's like too terrifyingly intense for some parts of me, or just too much to deal with. Then that sort of like seems to make the layers like blur around, and can create distance between parts of me. Generally, at the minute, I'm feeling like one person with many parts of me. There's still a bit of a feeling of like sort of switching around, but it's like I don't really feel like any part of me is particularly completely absent when not completely fronting. which is really hard to explain. Much like all of this stuff, it'd just be like that. So there's like there's a lot to be said for younger parts of me. Do you know, it's really interesting. It feels like all younger parts of me are like at the core, and like the older parts of me are like the layers around the edge. And I really feel like for a long time there was like this repeating repeated theme, I guess, of like a lot would happen at once, and it would create a split, and it would take a while to work out who had gone and why. And now I'm sort of getting to the stage where I'm kind of working out like the general theme of what created that, what was making that happen, what we're doing to make it not be happening so much, and which is really cool. I was so relieved. Oh my god. Um, oh, ah, yes, and some parts of me will not be used to the camera again, which will make sense. And the camera is a trigger to some parts of me. I remember that. Okay. Another theme is like constantly going, wow, this experience is intense. Why this feels like the first time I've ever done this, and then going, oh yeah, it is for parts of me. Yeah. Okay. Valid. My God, we just really love the way we just like dive into things. Whew. Okay. So this repeating theme would be like um, a part of me would express, and usually I think a younger part of me would express like the desire to do something or say something that could be associated with youth, innocence, vulnerability, trust. Generally, these like I'm really interested by what's happening here. By like generally these sort of things that we'd associate with kids, I guess. And then, so like maybe as an example, a part of me might want to message somebody something, and then I'll get like the desire to send the message and the words, and then I'll get this immediate sort of like um, self judgment of like, no, that's stupid, or like that's burdensome, or that's like usually something negative to do with like it tends to come down to um, seeing vulnerability and juvenile inverted commas behaviors as like negative, as something not to be desired, which at first there'd be like this whole splitting back and forth thing, because a part of me would respond that way, and then I would respond by judging that part, and we would like there was just a whole bunch of judging of myself, of being like, oh no, that's stupid, oh god, how could I think that, oh the poor like younger part of me being called stupid, and how dare I think that. And it's like then there'd just be like this blah of all of us being like spaced out for ages. And now and kind of working out what's happened. It's like, okay, we've had a lot of experiences of people around us who really didn't value child normal children's fucking behaviors, um, and we were praised quite a lot for having like very grown up viewpoints and ways of expressing ourselves. So we've received the message that, like, you know, kids are not, um, like, those behaviors are not safe, basically. And that's what it comes down to. It's these preemptive judgments, I feel, that older parts will make about what younger parts want to do isn't really us judging ourselves, like, because we're horrible people or because we believe those things. It's a safety measure. It's because those behaviors brought um, danger, and the older parts learnt to become protective and defensive over these behaviors by preemptively judging them as unsafe and repeating what we've had modeled to us, things like, oh, it's stupid, naive, or things like that. So, okay, so now that we've had conversations about the fact that we don't think that about each other, about ourselves. We don't think we're naive. We don't think we're stupid. I goddamn love every fucking part of everyone in here, every part of me, everyone in this system. And I think there is so much just inherent value in the kids in this system and the things that they can teach us. And like the ability to be playful and curious with concepts, with thoughts, with ourselves, with our environment, with our experiences. Invaluable. Couldn't really do therapy without that. So there's like, oop, a thought just randomly disappeared. Working out why. It's okay. Thank you for letting me share this fear. Yeah, it's frightening thinking about who might watch our videos sometimes and if they're going to be people that know us and have been people that have instilled some of these damaging core beliefs or thoughts. And that's a scary thought. It's not actually dangerous to us, though. We're going to be safe, and we're capable of dealing with things no matter what, no matter who watches our videos. We're all learning to stand by one another. Totally valid concern to have. Completely normal. And we're here, and we're not going to not be here, no matter what. That's it. I'm not going back to not standing by every part of me. So valid fear, and we've got this. So there's a lot of understanding being worked on all sides, and thank you. And like conversations about the fact that we don't see each other in these negative ways, we're just sort of programmed with the language and the modeling that was around us to see things this way sometimes. And society does not fucking help. So it can be a bit of a knee-jerk response, but trying to just make sure that all parts of us, especially the younger parts, know that we are working to change these responses and to change the words we use and the core beliefs we hold, and to see the inherent value in every part of us, especially in younger parts where maybe it hasn't always been shown to us or around us to learn to see that value. So it's a work in progress, and that sort of acknowledgement doesn't take away from how fucking hurtful it is that that we've heard that sort of stuff so much, and that we can think those things automatically, and that vulnerability and childlike wonder and youthful behaviours were ever judged, and that people didn't allow us to feel safe expressing ourselves and acting like fucking kids all the time is heartbreaking and awful. So we do apologize to our younger parts when it happens, and we don't judge the older parts who are responding that way, and we thank them for their protection and defense as well, because we did learn that these behaviors incurred judgment or lack of safety from some people around us. And this is why the older parts learnt to judge things as stupid, as naive, as whatever we were told it was, so that we would be protected against, incurring that damage again from acting in ways that were not safe. So no one's wrong. There's no part of us that's in the wrong here or trying to do anything bad, or there's no part of us that's in any way like a bad person for the response. They're all just conditioned, programmed responses, and all of our defenses were built and honed and worked on through necessity to keep us safe. I really, really fucking appreciate that. We needed those. We needed to be kept safe. And they were a great, fucking, really well adapted to the situations we were in defenses. So there's that understanding, of all parts. Trying to be very careful to make sure that it's like we explain these things to younger parts so that if it happens, we're all on the same page. We all understand that we're all working through these things that were instilled. We don't believe them, and that it's some stuff that was put on us, that we're all on the same team. But at the same time, obviously, allowing younger parts to feel hurt. Like I want it to be very clear that we're not expecting younger parts to be understanding or be the bigger person when it comes to things like this. It's like very immediate as a like as an example. Maybe I was playing Halo online earlier, and sometimes we'll try something like we jumped over like a light, you call it, but a jump that like shoots you up. And as we were being shot up, we were aiming at a person and shooting them, and we missed every shot and got killed on the way down. And there's like a brief thought of an older part being like, oh, that was a stupid thing to try, and it didn't go well. And instead of it being like, whoa, how could we think that, and everything blow apart from each other, it was like very understanding, going like, valid, gaming is a trigger for many reasons. We've received a lot a lot of trauma around playing games. It's taken actually years to be able to play them, and it's still a work now of something to be able to get it into the category of like relaxing activity. So there's already high tension there. Totally understand. And so basically, there's just this system of being like, valid defense. Thank you for that. That makes sense. I see that we're feeling worried about judgments we may receive, but we're safe here and now, like grounding to the time, to the present, to the room, to the body, reassurance, and like validation of the reason the defensive response is there, reassurance that we're safe and we don't need to use it now, even though it was very helpful when we did need it. Um, and then, like, and at the same time, really, immediate validation of the younger part's attempt, because like, yeah, having that kind of like high aspiration thing to try, just to be like, just to experiment, just to play around, just to be like, can I do this fucking awesome aiming shot? Because if we keep trying it, one day we will be able to. And that's exactly like, if we don't put ourselves out there, we're never going to learn to do that kind of cool shit. So that sort of like adventurous determination is so fucking cool to have, and not at all stupid. And so there's like this workable system like this of like all parts, sort of emotions being validated, reasons for defenses being validated, reassurance of the safety in the present, and of us adapting and learning new strategies and new ways to work that we're honing now, because we're capable and strong enough of to, say, play online and do something and get killed and remain safe, even if people online were judging us. It wouldn't matter. It's okay to feel fear from that. That's like to experience whatever emotions we experience from that, as long as we know we'll stand by one another and we think what we're doing is cool and fun, and that's what matters. So there's like a lot of work, so much fucking work being done to stand by all parts of myself and to show up for all parts of myself as I need to. And there's a lot less, like, I don't I don't think I've split in like a couple of days now. My god, time is really hard to track while fusing stuff is happening. It's like absolutely no idea if it's been 2 days or a week, but I'm pretty sure it's been a very long 2 days where we haven't split. There's been like occasionally there's been a feeling of like a younger part of me retreating inside a little bit, maybe not feeling entirely safe or welcome at points. But it's what's really cool is that I'm starting to get really good at checking in with myself and with every part of me, even in moments where there's like high pressure to notice what's happening in the outside world. Just remembering to do those checking in. So if that happens, I kind of feel it and go, "Ooh, what was that? Who? Hey, it's okay." And then working out what happened and trying to make sure that whatever made that part of me feel unwelcome or unsafe in the present is addressed and taken care of. and whatever need for safety is there is met, and that whatever emotion is being felt is validated. And what's really cool is that as long as I stay specifically like at 16 as the host of my subsystem, I'm not sh- I don't know if we use this using the word subsystem anymore, or if I'm using I and parts of me, because there's a lot more congruence. Wow, it's really cool. That terminology feels like it might be changing around me. That's ah, I've I was so I was so happy about that. It's so cool. I love having a subsystem as well. There's nothing wrong with that, but I love the progress, the tangible progress that we're making, and how we're working together. I just fucking love it. Oh, I lost the train of thought I was on, but like totally worth it. Don't mind at all. Oh man. Oh, oh. I'm feeling exhausted. It feels like I like constantly holding really heavy shopping bags that I can't put down in my brain. And I feel like my muscles are going through a phase of like trembling and shaking, and also like they're increasing. And like, these bags might start feeling lighter. Well, it's in there somewhere, the trail of thought I was on. Don't know if it'll come back to this video or not, but it'd be like that. I feel like so much of what I'm doing involves this honing and this heavy lifting and this focusing. Like, it feels like every part of me is kind of holding myself together mindfully, consciously in my body, and remembering to slow down and breathe and allow emotions to pass through fully felt. That's where I was. What's really cool is that I at 16 seem to need to like stay in the front, to feels like I'm like every part of me is filling into and going into my shape like I'm a vessel. And I'm like, what's really cool is if I when I validate and welcome the emotions that young parts are having inside in the core of me that I can feel when they've felt the need to retreat to be safe, they they're so fucking brave and they come back out. And when they come closer to the front, it feels like I'm not hollow anymore. Like my core in every layer is I don't know if I want to say every layer yet, but in all those layers it's there. And then it's like I welcome the emotion and I validate it as another person's, or as a part of me, and then it moves into me and I fully experience it and it lives in me. And then I get to, so I get halfway through the sentence of being like, God, that's so like awful as a thing to feel, and then I start feeling it and I'm like, oh fuck, that's really fucking awful as a thing to feel, like fuck. Oh, and like a lot of breathing into it. And I love that about myself. I love that I'm responding the way I'm choosing to respond to these things. And I love that other parts of me are trusting me to meet our needs and trusting me to hold these emotions and sharing them with me. So, yeah, that's like very much where we're at in the fucking awe-inspired gratitude I'm feeling for every part of me and everyone in the system right now. It's a lot. It's like, oh my god. I may make another video to hold space for the fucking challenging fucking bullshit that it entails to actually like circumvent all of the fucking trauma malware to get to this stage. It's fucking, oh my god, it's a fucking lot all day, every day. I'm really exhausted. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna check on my dog because she keeps hitting the door and it's like a jarring noise. I'm not here for it. Let's see what needs she has to meet.